Remember, on the B stream, we were lucky enough to cast SKillous versus Nightmare, and yo, Nikita was looking so good, so powerful in that series. I want to say this is a comparable matchup, but we'll see as we're jumping into our fresh best of 3. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous. Here we go. As we are going to be settling in and calming things down. Now, once again, we spawn into Ultra Love. What does that mean? That means it is viable to go for the Gate Expand setup here. Gate into Cybercore into Nexus. Zoun does embrace it. SKillous, he deviates from the norm. He's going for the high ground wall-off instead with a 2-gate opener. Okay, so SKillous is going to have the option. He's going to have the option to be aggressive and to potentially go for a 1-base all-in. Zoun is going to be opening up more economic instead. At least I'm making this assumption based on the pylon placement. We'll see. Yeah, there we go. 2-gate opener. So 2-gate opener out of SKillous. This is a much more aggressive start. And we'll see if SKillous does throw down a proxy. We'll keep an eye on SKillous here. Meanwhile, Zoun, he scouts, he confirms, he is fully aware that he's a little bit in danger. Oh, show us that proxy, show us the pylon. Yeah, SKillous, he's setting up. There it is, proxy pylon here. SKillous is going for a 1-base all-in. Zoun, he is somewhat aware, checking his vision. Zoun, he sees a missing pylon. He knows that a pylon is missing. Now, for all Zoun knows, it could be further back in the main, it could be at the natural, it could be a fake proxy pylon, or it could be a real one. It's up to Zoun to determine which one it is. See how he does respond. Opening up Zealot first. Zoun just being a bit of a nuisance here in the main, trying to force some inefficient mining. Is going to be the proxy robo, so confirmation, 1-base all-in here from SKillous. And Zoun, he is looking for the proxy. Zealot going to be skirting around the right-hand side, checking the wrong side of the map for now. Oh, checking over towards the left. He's checking the 3rd-base locations. Likewise, Probe is also skirting around the top left-hand corner of the map as well. He's looking, he's scouting. And how long will it take for him to find it? On top of that, Zoun, he delays the expansion. Okay, very safe move here out of Zoun. He delays the Nexus in favor of a Robo. He went Robo before expand. So very safe play here out of Zoun. This Robo means he can make his own defensive Immortals and his own, of course, War Prism as well. Top micro. Likewise, Zoun is still scouting, still looking. He's checking again the close by locations, the 3rd, the 4th base. Doesn't find anything. Doesn't find anything here. The Probe, likewise, unsuccessful as well. But still playing it safe. Shield Battery. Shield Battery is also on the way. SKillous, he's denied the shade. So far, he is denied. Immortal production well underway. Sentries rallying across the map as well. The Probe is still alive. The Probe is still in the main, which means Zoun will confirm it's a 1-base all-in, because now he sees no expansion. So Zoun, he's fully aware of what's going on for the most part. Adepts are amassing, Immortal has arrived. The Immortal is just now coming down here, or just now spawning in for Zoun. He does need more time though. Yeah, the shield battery is going to fall. Nice pickup. Stalker's under fire. And SKillous just forcing his way into the natural. That is Nartosis Pylon. The Pylon likewise is exposed. Going for the gateway. And again, Zoun, he just has to buy time. Prisoner has arrived, more reinforcements. Gateway's gonna fall. And that is gonna impede the production here of Zoun. There we go, the Immortal has made it. Gateway goes down. Gets one of the gates, nice force field. Just zoning back the army. Zones away the Immortal, going for the 2nd gateway. And the 2nd gateway is gonna fall as well. And how many gateways? 0 gateways. 0 gates left here for Zoun. He can't warp in. What you see is what you get. Just Immortals and this army. The force field. He does lock it down. Nice force field. Shield Battery doing what it can, but the stutter stepping here. He gets locked down by the Adepts. They get a surround. They hug the Immortal. The Immortal goes down. Massive pickup. There's one Immortal left. The micro here is insane. SKillous saves the Immortal. Oh, got him. Saves the Immortals just barely. Oh my god. And with that, he breaks through. He overwhelms, he overpowers, he breaks through the natural. GG gets called, and SKillous takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. SKillous will take a lead in the series. Again, a very intense game. Very intense. Bold move as well. What I should have emphasized coming into Ultra Love, of course, isn't just that it's standard to open up with a more economic opener, which is what Zoun went for. The reason for that is because of the ramp. The ramp does give you more of a defender's advantage, so Zoun had that going for him. Unfortunately, it took him a long time to figure out what exactly was going on. I don't know if you remember, but before Zoun realized what kind of all-in was coming his way, he was investing into shield batteries in the main. I want to say there was like a shield battery in the middle line on the way, and he was like trying to still figure out what was going on. Alas, he was caught with his pants down. And likewise, just really nice moves out of SKillous, not just when it came to shutting down the production, but also really nice force fields as well, kind of zoning away the Immortal, buying time, making sure the Immortal wasn't really impacting the fight, and of course locking it down as well with his adepts body blocking. He was able to body block that Immortal, lock it down. GG. GG, well played. And with that, we're getting into game number 2. Game number 2 is going to be on King's Cove. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of King's Cove, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, down in this series. We'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0. It is SKillous. Here we go. Un momento. Sorry, just opening the door. It's getting quite hot here in Australia. I mean, the sun is up. The sun is shining. It is 8 a.m. in the morning. It is 8 a.m. Ay, ay, ay. So just getting a little bit hot here. I know it is winter elsewhere in the world, but here it is summer. As always, for Christmas. Ay, ay, ay. But now that we're settling in, we do have initially a 2-gate opener. Unlike the previous maps, I mean, here on King's Cove, you can go for these more economic starts, but we have Zoun opening up 2 gates, SKillous as well. So we are going to be settling into a even more standard back and forth. This time, there isn't as much of an opportunity for SKillous to try to all-in and try to overwhelm Zoun. Zoun isn't cutting corners, he isn't opening up economically. Mirrored builds. Do have mirrored builds instead. As we have our initial 2-gate openers. Zoun going to be scouting in the main. He's looking for the pylon. He does find it. So Zoun can be safe and secure, and SKillous should soon do the same. Coming in, counting pylons. And we'll see what initial units we start off with. Do we open up double Stalker, Stalker Sentry, double Adept? Depending on the units of choice, will kind of dictate how aggressive or how defensive our players want to be. And show us what you got. Okay, Stalker Sentry here for both Zoun and SKillous. We're calming things down. Despite the aggressive and intense game 1, we're settling into game number 2. Settling in. Again, Stalker Sentry is very meta nowadays. Very meta, especially after the buff to the Sentry. With this, we have a very nice defensive setup, and likewise, a lot of scouting information. Like PvP nowadays, especially standard PvP, it's all about sentries, all about hallucinations, all about scouting the tech of your opponents and figuring out what's going on and getting into the mid game. So that should be the direction that we're headed. As SKillous does pylon block. Here comes that hallucination. SKillous' goal here is to determine if there's going to be tech before the expansion, like a Stargate or a Robo or a Twilight Council, and whether or not Zoun even expanded. So he dives in, he confirms the pylons, the gateways, the initial units, and the timing of the expansion. Likewise, Zoun is going to do the same. Likewise, moving up with hallucination. SKillous confirms the tech of choice. It is going to be a Twilight Council opener here out of Zoun. Faster blink. Meanwhile, Zoun moves out, and Zoun confirms almost the opposite, going for a Robo, not a Twilight Council. As Robo is here at the natural. Hallucination does confirm. Now, with a robot opener, it's a very safe way to open up. It gives you access to early immortal production. It gives you access to early detection, just in case your opponent tried to be crazy and go into like a DT opener. So detection, immortals, warp prism as well. The downside, of course, does mean that SKillous is going to be more defensive, and yep, it coincides with this. Fast third. Insane. The natural isn't even done, by the way, and SKillous, he just rushes into a fast third base. Again, it coincides with the robot opener. He's just going to be more defensive, is going to be stuck at home here and trying to get away with a more greedy opener. And we'll see if he can. Meanwhile, Zoun will have map control. With Blink Stalkers, he's going to have map control. You can already see the Stalkers are fanning out across the map, trying to make sure there's no crazy proxy, nothing else going on. And it's going to be on Zoun to try to punish the greed of SKillous. And we'll see if he can. Zoun is moving out. Likewise, he will soon confirm what's going on with those hallucinations. You can see SKillous already working on that immortal count. And SKillous is going to be stuck at home until he reaches 3-base saturation and builds up a high enough immortal count to break out across the map. Likewise, catching up with his own upgrades as well. So we have our defender, we have our aggressor. Likewise, nice force fields. Oh, Blink isn't done! And one Stalker goes down already! A very nice catch from SKillous. Zoun, getting a little bit over-eager there. Did face check up the ramp, got punished for it, and he has to back off. Again, Blink is still not done. So he got a little bit too excited. Zoun trying to be active. SKillous, I believe, yep, fully walls off. Adept Shade is denied. And Zoun, he's looking for another way in. Two Adepts that can one-shot probes. But now we can talk about the biggest feature, or one of the biggest features here of King's Cove. And the reason why SKillous is playing this way is how defensive you are, how defendable you are on 3 bases. The ramp. The ramp coming into the natural is very narrow. Very narrow. Likewise, you have the high ground advantage as well. Likewise, at the 3rd base, also another ramp. Because of that, as we just saw, force fields can be insane. And even if you're down in army supply, you can defend. You can hold, especially with the help of the shield battery. And the NG overcharge as well. So this map is very defendable on 3 bases. Specifically on 3 bases, though, I should emphasize that as well. The 4th base is more exposed, whether it's the center 4th base or the base on the right-hand side. That's where things can be a little bit more chaotic when it comes to defending. As Adept does shade in. 2 probe kills for an Adept. Not the best trade here from Zoun. And we have our tech of choice, Glaive Adepts. So initially, SKillous did open up economically. That is true. Did open up economically. He's built up towards 3 immortals already, but now he's getting ready for aggression. Glaive Adepts, that does not scale well into a longer game whatsoever. We're moving out with basically a 3-base all-in. We're moving out here with aggression. SKillous, he's soon about to turn this defense into an offense. Zoun back at home, scaling up. He's working towards charge lots, Archons, working towards the mid-game. Before he can get there, SKillous is going to hit first. Oh boy. SKillous is going to hit first. We have cannons, we have shield batteries on the way. Zoun, he's getting ready. He knows what's coming. He's trying to set up. We have cannons and shield batteries at the natural, at the 3rd base as well. Zoun, he needs to buy time. He needs to buy time for his Archons, for his charges, for everything else to kick in. And SKillous has a massive supply lead. Army supply lead. Observer goes down. Observer does go down. SKillous are going to push in, knocking down those rocks. Prism is here to reinforce. But Epps a shade towards the main. And Zoun, he has to respect the shade. Heading into the mineral line. SKillous pushing in. Where are the force fields? So far, so good. Zoun, he holds the line. Meanwhile, Epps a shade towards the 3rd. More Adept shading on over. Oh, does he commit? Not quite. Doesn't commit. He gets up the ramp. Zoun out of position. Yeah, he gets caught out of position. Brutal force fields. The Archon can knock them down. But Zoun, he's locked out of his own natural. Yeah, he's just locked out. Robo goes down. Shade into the main. Nice force fields. The Immortals, they're pinned back. And SKillous, he shades in. Probes are falling. And Zoun, he just can't really engage. He's trying to. Boys are being pulled into Glaive Adepts. Probes are going down left and right. 22 probe kills. And eventually Zoun, he might be able to clean this up, but he's losing everything. Losing every single worker. As I'll say, shut down the Immortals. Down to 1 Immortal left. Reinforcements on the way. The final Immortal is going to go down. But again, at what cost? At the cost of 39 workers. Nothing left here in the natural. Nothing in the main. And SKillous is going for the 3rd. Last bastion of hope for these probes. Every worker going down. And back at home, SKillous, he's chilling. He's he's perfectly fine. As he's still not done. Shading back, Adept's still in the main, and GG gets called. SKillous will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the round of 16. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Very nicely done here by SKillous. Again, SKillous kind of luring Zoun into a false sense of security. We mentioned it at the time, it all happened real quick, but SKillous did open up economically, he opened up defensively, that is all true, but then he followed it up with a very crisp timing of Glaive Adepts. Very strong timing with 3 Immortals, Sentries, and Masked Glaive Adepts. Alas, if you remember, Zoun was getting ready for a longer game. He was expecting a macro game. He was getting into +1, getting into Archons, Charge Lots, Gateway Explosion, Workers, saturating his third base. Like, Zoun was getting ready for a game that wasn't really coming, right? He was so SKillous, he was able to knock him down before he could really get things going, and GG. GG, well played. SKillous does take the 2-0, and with that, that concludes the round of 32. Does conclude the round of 32, and now we're getting ready for the round of 16. Oh boy, what matches do we have ready for us? Okay, let's go. We do have a couple of matches here. From the top, we're going to be going over Hero versus Cure. If you were here for it, Cure did take down Byun. At the start of the broadcast, so Curie moves on to face off against Hero. We have Gumiho versus Trap, and Mana versus Creator. Oh boy, so we will soon be jumping into the round 16. I do need a moment to set things up. Let us go. So in chat, did Trigger Beach Classic went to the ace match, but Classic did win in the end. Phoenix Wars, man. Phoenix Wars. Oh. They be casting always, Mappy, always. Always casting. I always hear King's Cope. Oh no. Not like this. The trumpet overlay is the GOAT. Yeah, of course. The trumpet, the fanfare, Mappy. The fanfare. Always, always. Here we go. But yes, we're going to be taking a moment here. We're going to be going on a very short break, only a couple of minutes, and when we come back, we will have the round of 16. I do just need a moment to set up all the matches and get things going. Take this time to get some snacks, get some food, get some water, and get ready for a day of StarCraft. It's an intense weekend, Papi. OlimoLeague, Masters Coliseum, as well as Firegrow Cup as well. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. See you soon. Oh, see you soon.